All right, welcome back. So we just created bar charts and I want to dive into line graphs. So if we scroll down on the Excel sheet, we'll see a different set of data here. So line graphs are typically used within psychology, often to portray numbers or the gradual increase, decrease of numbers. It often shows weather, rating scales, etc. Right? So the data set we have here, it's again fake data set. So it would be a measure such as the following data represents the number of families in each county who think sending their children to private schools are better than sending them to public schools. So we have a list of counties here and then the number of families who think that private schools are better than public schools. So we want to go ahead and do something very similar to the way we did bar graphs. So you want to go first up, go ahead and highlight your data set. Go to insert, and so instead of selecting this part, you want to just move down to the second option right under bar chart, which is insert line or area chart. Hit the little arrow, and we want to create this one, which is line with markers. So once you select that, you'll have this chart. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. All right. So again, you have your vertical axis and you have your horizontal axis. So first up, let's add a chart title, and we'll name this one private schools versus public schools. And we want to also go ahead and add our vertical axis title and our horizontal axis title. So again, go to your chart elements. Go to your axis titles and hit primary and primary vertical and horizontal. So for this one, you can maybe name that number of families. And for this specific title for your horizontal, we want to make sure that it's county. Okay. And then we want to go ahead and add those axis lines and click here. Now remember, for the bar graphs, I changed this. It was originally 0 to 70%, and I had changed it from 0 to 100% to match the percentage. However, for this one, I'm going to leave it the way it is because 80 is an okay number. Nothing goes over 80. And 0 is an important and relevant number here because 0 families could have chose to say that private schools are not better, right? So we want to make sure it does start at 0. And I'm just going to leave it at 80. So the bounds are fine. I'm not going to do anything different to them. I'm going to go ahead and add my lines. So solid line, make sure it's black. I'm going to do the same here for my horizontal. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and add in my data labels, right? So that people aren't estimating what these points are. So you just want to click on one of the little points at the end, go to your chart elements, and then click on data labels. So now it'll add the number above each little dot to show that, for example, in Passaic, 28 families thought that sending your children to private schools is a lot better than sending your children to public schools. So line graphs also super helpful because it can tell you if there's a decrease or increase. Across time, across counties, across whatever it may be. What do you choose, right? Do you choose line graphs or when do you choose bar graphs? So we're going to talk about that in class, and I'm going to ask you to go onto the lecture slides to look to see when should you be using which graph in terms of what type of data sets that you have. But for now, this is how you create a simple line graph, the elements that you need to have a clear line graph.